I got a question. To the Christian conspiracy theorists out there who spend hours on this app talking bad about Freemasons and saying that we're evil and blah, blah, blah. Saying we worship the devil and we do this to the Bible and do that to the Bible when we don't. We don't do anything to the Bible.
All right, so there's something I want to state before I go into this video. I never said that Freemasons worship the devil. I never said that they were evil. I just want to point that out there. One thing I have said is Freemasonry misuses the Bible. Freemasonry misrepresents the Bible, but then also not just that. And I've talked about how Masons are deceived by the symbols that are used and the rituals. None of this stuff ties back to Jesus Christ. None of it ties back to the Bible. They say that the grand architect is everyone's deity. It's just everyone, the one source. But, last time I checked, the Buddhist, the Brahmin, the Shinto, the Zoroastrian, none of our gods are the same. Maybe those guys, some of those deities over there, you have some similarities because they all tie back together to that one person. But according to the God of the Bible, he is the one true source. He is the one omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient God. There is no other besides him. And Masonry doesn't teach that.
Do that to the Bible when we don't. We don't do anything to the Bible. Why aren't y'all going to the lives where the Satanists are? To the actual Satanist lives, because they're out there. There are Satanists on this app that go live, and they're teaching against Christianity, right? They're teaching against it. Masons are sitting here telling you we don't teach against the Bible or any religion for that matter. We don't even talk about religion within our lodges. But there are actual Christians out there. Satanists out there. It will tell you, if Christianity and burn the Bible on TikTok and spit on the Bible and all this, rip it up, blah, 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 purposely being disrespectful to Christianity. Why aren't y'all in their lives? Why aren't y'all talking about them? Why aren't y'all screenshotting and recording them? I want to know. I want a legitimate answer.
Okay, so I'm more than happy to address that, Sir Nightbrain. Before I was going live, I would always go into other people's lives. That is how a lot of people actually found out about my TikTok account, was because I would go in people's lives and I would debate them, or I have an open dialogue with them about the Bible, what's going on in the world, or whatever topic they would have up on, their screen during the time. And when I would go into these Satanist lives, they would be disrespectful. They would not show me the proper respect that I was showing them. They would do things that was out of pocket, like muting my mic, not letting me finish my argument or my sentences. They would do all types of things. And then they got to the point where I was just like, I would rather go live where I can control the emotional spectrum on my end and on the next person's end. Because, hey, if you're not being respectful and cordial, like I always say, you're getting booted. My mod is going to boot you, or my mods, or I'm going to boot you personally. And I like to keep it that way because it should be a respectful, cordial conversation where you let that person speak. And, I'm going to do my thing as well, or the next person for that matter. Most people cannot do that. So that is why I don't debate Satanists. I don't debate atheists. I don't go into other people's lives if they're not a respectful and cordial person. And sometimes you can even go to a Christian live. I've witnessed that my own self. I went into this one dude live. I'm not going to mention his name, but dude was being very disrespectful. And it wasn't just, me who can testify to this. So it's not even just, a Satanist thing or atheist thing. There are Christians who are disrespectful to Christians as well. And that's just, a givey. Now, for any Mason or for you, Sir Nightbrain, If you stick around to the end, I would like for you or one of your fellow brothers to answer this. Why does it matter? Why does it concern you that I want to talk about this? We live in America. I live in America. I have the right to talk about what I want until that day comes where the Bible says I won't be able to talk about what I want because my conscience will be seared by the state and my liberty of conscience will be stripped, my sovereignty. Until that day comes, if that day comes, if I leave America, I have the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights. I can talk about what I want as long as it's not within terrorist or treason type of categories.